Today on Spiky Bits, we are taking a look at the new Age of Sigmar starter and small, easy to build kits for the new game. Spiky Bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. Alright, I'm Baer, and these are the new product offerings for the Age of Sigmar. So if you've been meaning to check out the game and you haven't quite been able to do it yet because of budgets or finances, or just because you thought that the starter was too much and maybe not worth it for you, well, now they got a new $33 starter right here, as well as $15 starter box sets for basically the models that come in the starter itself, right? So this, I mean, we'll get to this last because I want to show you these particular kits here. This is a great entry-level thing for a lot of these big box stores that we're seeing Games Workshop do with Battle of Vedros for 40K, but now they also have the option to do Warhammer Age of Sigmar as well, which is really cool to see. Now these guys, I won't lie, like, this is very appealing looking. Like, it's just the right size, you know, for younger folk, like teenagers or kids or whatever. You know, it shows you what's in it. There's all the layout. Oh, it's a model. Oh, okay, you put it together. Oh, okay, you paint it. Alright, I get it. It's a hobby. Okay, cool. And then it basically has this little flip open thing where you pull out the sprue and you do your whole thing. Now, I'm going to open all of these and show you because there's a couple important things here. First off, it comes with, you know, all the bases and everything you're going to need. Obviously, that would be stupid if it didn't, right? But it comes with this little guide. And it also comes with a new sprue that they've made. Now this sprue is recut from the Age of Sigmar starter itself. It's copyright 2016. So you can tell they're kind of, you know, they just started this stuff. Like they got in probably, you know, in January and they're like, all right, we got to fix it. How are we going to fix it? And this was probably one of the things that came out. And I think it's a great deal for $15 to be quite honest, because these guys, I think for 10 are 58, I want to say. So this seems like a good value to me. Now these are exact same models that they put in the Age of Sigmar starter, right? And also you'll see that they come in a small mini starter as well. But they basically, you know, re-manipulated them in 3D and, you know, put them on a new sprue as a new product. But they're the same exact thing, the same exact poses that you get in your Age of Sigmar starter. And then you've got this manual guide right here, which is a little bit about like collecting the hobby, which is fine. And then it gets into the build. And again, full color, so you can see where the parts are supposed to interface, where they're supposed to not interface. You know, it makes putting them together a little bit simpler, I feel like. And then the little thing on paint, and boom, you got a little mini war scroll. Now, side note, if Games Workshop sold something like this, or something with like what you're going to see in the starter set, like a pack of these, this is the data cards basically for Age of Sigmar. You know what I mean? Like, you have data cards for 40K, but if you literally put the whole war scroll, and I would love to see this for 40K as well, you give me the whole war scroll, or, you know, battle scroll here, right, on a low card or something of this nature, a pack of them, so I can have it on the table right next to my model. So I, you know, we're learning a new game here. Like, give us something, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much rules all at once. Every unit has a war scroll, and there's a lot of units for fantasy, right? Imagine if all the books for fantasy came out all at once. We'd be swamped, right? Well, the same thing basically happened for Age of Sigmar. So give us these game aids, you know, give us these little pack of cards, or even if you want to make it this big, like you're going to see here in a minute, that would be something I would buy, and because it would just make playing a little bit easier. So that was what are these guys? These are the Blood Warriors. I like these guys in Age of Sigmar because if they die, they basically have the Death Frenzy ability from Wolfen, where they basically still get to attack. If you roll a 6, they basically repose a mortal wound into the squad that attacked them, which is really neat too. So they got a lot of cool abilities, and Chaos seems to be like all about the buffs, basically. So here's the Liberators. Again, very similar stuff here, a little decal sheet. You get all the rules and everything in here, how to build it, good to go. And then, of course, the retooled sprue here. So, you know, have no fear if you liked the models that came in Age of Sigmar, or you're trying to finish out a squad of the models that came in the starter. Well, this might be for you. They're not exactly the multi-part ones that come in the actual box kits, you know, with all the options and things. That's not going to be a thing, but it is a thing in here if you want, you know, $15 is a good deal. You know what I mean? Like, this is a $60 kit here for 5. So I feel like if you're not really all about buying $60 and you just need perhaps to add 2 dudes to your squad, which is a thing now with the General's Compendium or the General's Handbook, then boom, pick you up that right there. And then here is the Blood Reavers as well, and the same models, same everything from, you know, the starter, all come in here, just retooled and copyrighted 2016. All that out of the way, let's talk about this new mini starter right here. So this is $33, which is, you know, a quarter of the price of the Age of Sigmar starter. You can kind of see it's laid out a lot different, but a lot better, I feel like. You get a little mini kind of introduction guide thing here with the rules, of course, and then it shows you all the models you get, and you get some dice. So you can get, you know, up and going relatively quickly. This is called the Storm of Sigmar starter, so I'm sure we'll affectionately, you know, be calling it that. Now, inside of it, you see these things right here. I'm all about these. You've got, of course, all of the rules and some battles right there, but of course it's shrunk down, so it's more than the 4-page rules we're used to. Then you get a Storm Sigmar assembly guide, which is all of the instruction manuals for, of course, all of the sprues, which are the same sprues that come in the single boxes that I just showed you, right? So you kind of see they triple dipped on that one, right? So they not only put these out singly, but they put these all 4 of these out together for $33. So guess which one's the better deal? Your answer is the $33 one. Because this is so much better of a deal. Like, this is 15, this is 15, this is 15, this is 15. What? It's the same exact thing that comes in over here for $15, but it's in here for $33. So don't buy 2 of those, obviously, because you would just be a stupid. But this is a great deal. Not only does it come with that, of course, it comes with all your bases and everything you need, and all your dice right there, and a little decal sheet for the Stormcast Eternals, right? But what I like about this is these right here, which we saw in the Bone Splitters book, where basically they are kind of laid out. The war scrolls in that are laid out very similar to this on the page. But what separates these from that is that, well, these are the starter ones, so not going to have all the options for all the weapons on here. But they got sweet little graphics on here. It's not just like the boring, like just text. You got little icons and things and such, and all this stuff everywhere, right? So that's really cool to see, I feel like. But it's on hard, you know, a hard little cardstock. It's not a piece of paper. It's got a dope graphic on the back there, depending on what side you are. So you got all that. But you can literally have these out instead of flipping through a manual or flipping through your phone. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like Games Workshop's really missing the boat here without having some game aid type stuff. Like, I want to buy these. I want to buy all of the Chaos ones, and I want to just have it on the table. Boom. I got it on the table. I could even have a little spot right here like they did for the Silver Tower, like to take your wounds or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be cool to see. I guess if it was like a monster, you could do something like that. I may make something like this myself, because, you know, you can just basically take a screenshot of the war scroll and then work it into a half-page printout or something like that pretty easily, I feel like, if you select a bunch of them in on your computer as a file, as a graphics file. So I don't know, I got to toy with it, but let me tell you what, this would be a lot easier than what we got right now. And then the instruction manual is pretty much the same layout. Well, you got some missions. You got not the pitch battle missions, but the ones for the normal Age of Sigmar. And then it gets to the back here, and again, the rules, not in the 4 pages, but they're laid out a little bit longer and a little bit better, I feel like. All of that, and then it gets to the back, and it talks about, hey, now that you got this, why not buy some paints? Why not, you know, you're ready for battle. All right, cool, buy these other things. You know what I mean? So obviously, if you're going to pick this up, it's probably better to just start with larger forces, larger box sets at that point, because the price point on picking up one of these is kind of silly when you pay $33 for this one. And that's without a discount. Like, if you get a discount at your local game store or something like that, like, this is a huge deal right here. I mean, if you get this at like 20% off, I mean, it doesn't even, you can't even you can't even compare it at that point. You know, it's so good of a deal. So, like I said, if you've been thinking about it, checking out Age of Sigmar, you've been on the fence, money, time, too complex, etc., this really solves a lot of those problems. So, you know, pony up the $30, find a friend, split it with them. I mean, you really can't make a whole lot of arguments at this point to not checking the game out at least once. You know, now that we know that there's points and there's all this, at least check it out, play through it, throw everything you know about every game you've ever played before from Games Workshop out the window, keep your mind open, and and just read the rules. They are just as deceptively simple as they basically read, but there is still a lot of tactics to be had in this game, I feel like. So, you know, don't be fooled. It is a good game. I've played a lot of these games already, both pitch battle and not, and I have more fun playing these. I mean, tactics wise, there's some better there's some more complex tactical games out there like Star Wars Armada from FFG, but for funsies and just pure enjoyment, hobby enjoyment, I don't think there's a better game out there than Age of Sigmar personally.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.